And Baron James, who was head of the Paris branch and the youngest of the 5 sons of our Emperor Rothschild, gave an astonishingly uninhibited description of the 19th century Rothschild policy of keeping it in the family. I'll quote to you from what he wrote and make you smile. In our family, we've always tried to keep love in the family. In this sense, it was more or less understood since childhood that children would never think of marrying outside the family, so that our fortune would never leave it. You couldn't write that today.
First, I've already mentioned that the Italian branch eventually fizzled out. They intermarried with the British branch, though, so their legacy lives on through that connection. That leaves the French branch. That branch is the only one other than the senior British branch that still exists today. It started with James, the youngest of the 5 original brothers. He married his niece, Betty, who was the daughter of his brother Anselm. They had 4 sons, 3 of whom have male line descendants still living today. The 3rd son, Solomon, actually ended up in America. The idea was that he might eventually start a branch there, but Solomon died young and an American branch never did come to exist. The youngest son, Edmund, was a big supporter of the early Zionist movement. Long before the Holocaust and decades before the British occupation of Palestine, Edmund purchased land from the Ottomans and helped fund the first Jewish settlement in what is today the State of Israel. His son James would later bequeath the funds that went on to be used to build the Knesset building in Jerusalem, which today houses the Israeli parliament. However, the main branch of the French family is this one here. It is currently led by David de Rothschild. In 2003, the main Rothschild company in France merged with the main Rothschild company in Britain, with David being made chairman. So in terms of the actual business side of the Rothschild empire, David, this individual here, is kind of the head of the family. He also serves as the chairman of the World Jewish Congress, an international organization based in New York that represents Jewish diplomatic interests across the globe. Okay, I've left the British branch for last because it was the most successful, is currently the senior branch, and it's the branch that people in the English-speaking world are most familiar with. It starts with Nathan Rothschild, 3rd son of Meyer Amschel. As I mentioned earlier, he earned a lot of money for the family's firm in the years following Napoleon's defeat. What's less known, though, is he was also involved in ending slavery in the UK, using millions of dollars to help buy and free.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.